Welcome back children in your science class. Today we are going to take the chapter of class 7, chapter 1, nutrition in plants. Children, as you know very well that nutrition, that is very important thing and essential thing for all the living beings. Here we are talking about the plants, but children, as you know that all the animals, all the human beings, we require nutrients. Nutrients are in the form of proteins, carbohydrates, minerals, and vitamins. Now we are coming to the next point, that is mode of nutrition. Basically, you all are studying from your previous sections, previous classes or in earlier classes that mode of nutrition basically is of two types, children. That is number one, autotrophs, and heterotrophs. Now children, the question arises that the autotrophs, what is the meaning? The meaning of auto means self-preparing. All the plants are in the category of autotrophs because they can prepare their own food. Heterotrophs, those are which cannot prepare their own food. Those are dependent on others. We are in the category of heterotrophs. All the animals are in the category of heterotrophs. Now the question arises, why plants are in the category of autotrophs, why we are not there? We are in the category of autotrophs. We are not in the category of autotrophs, but plants are there. What is the reason? The reason, they have factory to prepare food by their own. Now you will think that which type of factory, which kind of factory. If I am going to make a simple diagram, simple structure of a plant, children, you please see here that these are the roots, these are the leaves, and basically we all know that the leaves are green in color. And the function of the roots to send the water and the minerals in the form of dissolving way, it absorbs from the soil and send in all the parts of the body. Now these green leaves, see now, they are responsible for the photosynthesis process. Now the question is, what is photosynthesis? So this is a process in which plants prepare their own food with the help of carbon dioxide, water which they are taking from the downwards, chlorophyll which is green pigment, C class, green pigment, chlorophyll in the green leaves, and in presence of sunlight they are preparing carbohydrate. It is known as carbohydrate, and oxygen. Oxygen is a waste product during the process of photosynthesis, but this is very much useful for us. Why? Because we use this oxygen in the process of respiration. Children, now you know very well the use of oxygen, the value of oxygen, because the time of COVID is going on. You all are hearing about the importance of the oxygen, importance of the plants. Now the next, stomata. Why I am telling you about this stomata? Because just now I told you that leaves, these work like the factories. So now you will ask them how they are working like the factories. They are working like the factories because they are doing this process. Now you will say, ma'am, how they can take this carbon dioxide from the atmosphere? They can take this carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. These are the small pores which is present in the leaves, on the surface of leaves. This is known as stomata. This is stomata. These are guard cells, and these are the side tissues or side cells or the epithelial cells. Now through these pores or these holes, they take carbon dioxide, water they are using from the roots and preparing the food. Other than this, plants also prepare some food, because we know that when we are taking pulses and all, we can get the protein from the plants. That is okay. But now children, When we are talking about the carbohydrate, the formula is C6H12O6. It means carbohydrate is made up of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. It means carbon is taken by carbon dioxide, hydrogen is taken by air, and you can see that oxygen is also there in both the formulas, in both the compounds. But protein, the constituent or the thing by which it is made up of, that is nitrogen. Now the question arises from where the plants are taking nitrogen. Plants are taking their nitrogen from the atmosphere because they can take only in the gaseous form. Nitrogen is present in the atmosphere in the gaseous form, children, but plants take in the dissolving form. That is known as nitrogen cycle. In your senior classes, you will study about this, that how the nitrogen cycle take place. And one more thing I want to tell you, if there is a lack of nitrogen in the soil, then farmer gives the urea and all different types of fertilizers. That fertilizers, because they have the optimum amount of nitrogen. So in this way, plants can get the nitrogen from the fertilizers and all. Minerals dissolved in water and after that can be taken by the plants. So this is a simple phenomena. These are the simple points by which you can understand that how the plants are preparing their food. Food factories are the green leaves. The green main pigment is the chlorophyll. The process is photosynthesis. Stomata, by the stomata they are showing the exchange of gases. Exchange of gases. And sun is the ultimate source of energy, children. In this whole procedure, you all have seen that in the presence of sunlight, if there is no sun, so we cannot imagine the life on the earth. The reason, because directly or indirectly, we are dependent on the plants. We are taking food, are eating everything, whatever we are eating, we are getting from the plants, number one. And number two, very important thing, that is oxygen, children. Right now we have discussed about this, that this is helpful in the respiration process. So we have completed the main important part about the chapter nutrition in plants. Yes, children. Now we are coming to the second part of the lesson. That part is other modes of nutrition. Right now we have studied about that the plants, they have nutrition, they have autotrophic mode of nutrition. Now we are talking that other than this type of nutrition they have. So yes, they have parasitic nutrition also, children. But I want to tell you, we are talking about the plants, but I want to tell you about the animals also. Animals like the roundworms, all the helminthes, these all are in the category of the parasite. Those live inside or outside the animals. Now we are talking about the plants. Very well known example is Cascata and the another name is Amarbel. That is the very good example of plants, children. What happens generally? This is the parasite. If a very good garden is there and there is a plant of this Cascata, that is the parasite basically. If there is this Cascata is there in that garden, it will take all the nutrients from all the plants, and within days you can see that the garden is not now green in a very proper manner. The reason, because this parasite has taken all the nutrients from the roots of the plants. Now the next, insectivorous plants. Some plants, they lack of nitrogen. I told you that farmers use fertilizers. Plants can take the nitrogen in the dissolving manner from the roots, but except that if there is a lack of nitrogen in the soil, then plants can fulfill its requirement. These are in the category of insectivorous plant. Example is pitcher plant. Okay, if I am making a very simple structure, children, so these are having a very good lid-like structure. These flowers, those are insectivorous. These are very colorful, very good smell. The reason, because if the smell is very good, if they are very much attractive, they are very much colorful, then the insects want to sit on it. This thing that they are having a very good quality of nectar, quantity of nectar. So they come and sit over it. They are having some digestive juices. Whenever any insect come and sit on it, the lid will be open and they will be slip out inside and can be digested easily. It means now they are taking insects like this. So these are the example for insectivorous plant. Now coming to the saprotrophs. Saprotrophs means parasite, those are living on the living organism. Saprotrophs, those are just being to be on the rotten and dead and decaying. Remember this thing, children. Rotten and dead and decaying. Dead and decaying. This is the basic difference. Parasites, animals and plants should be living. Okay? If they are dead, then who will be there? Saprotrophs. If they are living, then the parasite will be there. Okay? Now the next is saprophyte. We are discussing. The examples are mushrooms, moles, fungi. Suppose you are coming from the school. After coming, you are just telling to your mother, ki Mama, from tomorrow we are having holidays of 2 days. You are not opening your lunch box. It is there in your school bag. And after 1 day, you are just opening a very big smell. And you are seeing the thread-like structures are there inside it. That is fungus. Okay. So that is fungus. That is saprotrophs. And what they require, children? The adaptive features which they required. Adaptive features, the hot and humid weather. These are the two conditions in which saprotrophs can survive easily. Now the next is symbiosis. Lichen is a very good example of symbiosis. Symbiosis means working together in a positive manner. Positive in the sense, two people are working, they both are giving the benefit to each other. The example is lichen, alga and fungus is the example. Very good example for this, children. Why the alga? These are green in color. Fungus, we know these are the saprotrophs. Alga required water for the survival. So these fungus, we know that they require the humid weather. It means if the weather is humid, then only they can be there. So they are absorbing the humidity, means water. They are taking water and these are green in color. So they are giving water to algae and algae is green. They are preparing food and giving the food to the fungus. In this way, they both are just giving the benefit to each other. This is a very good example of symbiosis. So this is the very important part of this chapter, that is nutrition in plants. This is the another part other than autotrophs. Yes, children, right now we have done the saprotrophs, insectivorous plant, parasitic plants, and I told you the symbiosis. Now the very important term I am going to tell you, that is how nutrients are replenished in the soil. I told you that how plants are taking the nitrogen. That I want to tell you. Suppose this is a leguminous plant, children. I am writing here leguminous, all the pulses. These are in the category of legumes because they have nodes, such type of nodes on their roots. That is the house or the home for the bacteria Rhizobium. This is the bacterium which lives in the roots like this. Now, what is the whole procedure, children? Actually, see, generally what happens, suppose this is a field, small plants are there is a lack of nitrogen in the field. Then what the farmers will do? They will use some leguminous plant, means pulses plant. Okay? Or they can use whole legumes in the field, 1 year, 2 year, 4 year, after that timing. And suppose they are using all the pulses there, then what will be there, children? All the pulses plants are there. They are having the nodes in their roots and the bacterium, those are present there. They can convert the nitrogen. And in this way that soil can be enriched in the nitrogen, which is a very good method, children. So in this way what you are seeing, that they are also showing the symbiotic relationship because they are providing the nitrogen to the soil particularly. And one more thing, always remember that nitrogen is present in the atmosphere in the gaseous form, children. Okay, so plant cannot take directly nitrogen from the atmosphere. That's why These are the bacterias. Now, name is rhizobium. That rhizobium is converting, and after that plants are absorbing the nitrogen. This is known as symbiotic relationship, because in the legumes plants, in the roots, the bacterium are living there. And the very important thing, that the nitrogen can be absorbed by the plants only in the soluble form. So in the nutrition in plants, I want to sum up with 1 minute, children. We have done that these are autotrophs. Factories are green leaves. They have green pigment, that is chlorophyll. Photosynthesis is the main process which prepare the food. After the photosynthesis, I told you, children, that all the plants, the main source or the ultimate source on the earth is sun, whether for the plants, for the animals and for the human beings. In the second part of the video, we have done what? We have done insectivorous plants, parasitic plants, saprotrophs, fine, and symbiosis of the lichen. Lichen is the example, algae and fungus. And now in the third part, we have done the main, how nutrients are replenished in the soil. That is nitrogen in the soluble form can be converted by rhizobium bacter. Those are present in the leguminous plants like the pulses and all. Okay, and that is known as symbiotic relationship. Thank you, children.